On the news tonight, after years of tussle, Ihiala community gets new monarch. 12 Enugu Cool youths appointed environmental youth ambassadors by Anambra state government. The federal government sets up task force to clear APAPA gridlock within 2 weeks, to be headed by Vice President Osibanjo. And on the foreign scene, 3 top Saudi scholars to be sentenced to death after Ramadan. A good evening to you and thanks for joining us on the evening news. I am Ifunanya Amathili, and now the details. Governor Willie Obiano has asked traditional rulers in the state to establish special mechanisms to monitor the activities of youths in their communities. Governor Obiano was speaking while presenting a certificate of recognition to the traditional ruler-elect for Ihiala, Igwe Thomas Obidigwe. And our Government House correspondent, Ejike Abana, reports that the presentation was made at the Governor's Lodge in Amobia.
The event was attended by notable traditional rulers in the state, led by the chairman of the State Traditional Rulers Council, Igwe Nemeka Achebe of Onitsha. Governor Obiano said that the move has become imperative due to the ravaging effects of cult activities in communities across the country, urging them to introduce programs to meaningfully engage the youths. Governor Obiano congratulated the new traditional ruler, asking him to use his new position to bring the people of Ihiala together, but shunned acts capable of creating divisive tendencies.
You see this certificate given to you as a unifying factor, so you have to go back to all the people of Ihiala and win them back to your side. That's why you're the father, and the royal father for that matter. I also want to advise you, we've had a lot of challenges in Ihiala lately because of cultism. It's not only Ihiala, but Ihiala has to be peculiar. So I want you to set up a special department in your cabinet that will oversee the activities of youths in that area. It will go a long way in helping the state. And the same thing I'm telling all the Igbes, they need to have a special team in their cabinet that will dedicate themselves to the activities of the youths.
The Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Chief Greg Obi, traced the history of the years of tussle which led Governor Obiano into setting up a panel of inquiry presided over by former Anambra State Secretary to the state government, Chief Paul Odenibo. Commissioner Obi, while stressing that Ihiala Chieftaincy remains one of the oldest traditional institutions dating back 700 years, pointed out that written and oral submissions by members of the community have been gathered, out of which government report was drawn, commending Governor Obiano for his result-oriented leadership style.
Excellency, the Anambra cannot thank you enough. Personally, I can't thank you enough for the way you go about this leadership situation in Anambra State. It looks easy, but it's not easy. The way you're doing it, and the state is benefiting, and
Speaking, the chairman of the State Traditional Rulers Council, Igwe Nemeka Achebe, stressed that only one person can be the traditional ruler of a community per time, reminding them that Ihiala belongs to him, just like he belongs to Ihiala. As such, should carry everyone along.
So thank God for that. Central level and open level, those are at the state level. So now,
traditional ruler of Ihiala, Igwe Obidiegwu, expressed joy and gratitude to God, his community members, and state government, promising to unite his community, working with government and other stakeholders. Speaking to the ABS, a stakeholder in Ihiala and Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment, Mr. Sidon Adenoba, members representing Ihiala Constituency 1 and 2, Mr. Chidi Udemado and Dr. Pascal Abodike respectively, congratulated the new traditional ruler, while promising they will stand behind him to ensure his success in accordance with state laws. Presentation of certificates as well as traditional performances featured at the event. From the Governor's Lodge, Amobia, Ejike Abana, ABS News.
Congratulations to Igwe Obidiegu. Governor Willie Obiano has called for a concerted effort towards building a more conducive environment for businesses to thrive. The governor made the call during a one-day workshop on improving the ease of doing business in Anambra State, organized by the World Bank in conjunction with the state government for relevant stakeholders in the business sector. And our correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo was there and now reports.
Governor Obiano, who was represented by his deputy, Dr. Nkemo Okeke, pointed out that the state can only switch from the recent rank as the 5th most improved state in terms of doing business to first and be made more attractive to investors through a collective effort and hard work. The governor called on relevant stakeholders, especially the Anambra State Investment Promotion and Protection Agency, ANSIPA, to remodel their pattern of operations to attract more investors and increase the state's internally generated revenue, which he disclosed is recently at less than 2 billion naira per month.
I'm begging and pleading with everybody, all the stakeholders, all the administrators, the MDAs here present, to let's work harder. Let's try our best to make sure that we make people comfortable when they come to our state to do business.
Speaking earlier, the State Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budgets, Mr. Mark Okoye, while saying that the workshop enabled them to take stock on their achievements so far as it concerns the state's economy, appealed to the World Bank also support the state in terms of technical and financial resources.
The creation of this committee on the council and the holding of this workshop, it affords us enough time, the next 3.5 years, to really get our things, tie up our boots, get everyone on board, and start implementing these reforms.
In her remarks, the World Bank representative at the event, Lady Nneka Ekwozo, recommended annual mock assessment as the best way the state can assess its effectiveness and achievements in the business sector, and assured the state of the World Bank's continuous partnership.
I want the state to be encouraged that it is definitely possible to obviously improve. We gave recommendations on what could be done, some are short term, some are medium term, and some are long term.
Also speaking, the State Head, Corporate Affairs Commission, Barrister Ezekwesili Onwumbiko, said the Commission will assist the state to get unregistered business and industries operating in the state registered so as to boost the state's IGR as well as the living standards of the people. In Oka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
Twelve Enugu boys have been appointed environmental youth ambassadors. The Anambra State Commissioner for Environment, Architect Michael Okonkwo, gave them the special recognition for keeping the environment clean. And our correspondent, Ejike Abana, reports that the commissioner had a short parley with the boys in his office at Jerome Udoji Secretariat Complex, Oka.
Recall that the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Anambra Broadcasting Service, Chief Uche Nwora, took to his Facebook social media handle to celebrate the boys who he met cutting grasses on the village pathway out of their own will, an act that drew his attention. The boys attend Okutalkwe Community Secondary School, St. Teresa's Secondary School, Ide Secondary School, and Good Child Secondary School, all in Enugu, while 2 others attend Nnamdi Azikiwe Secondary School, Abagana, and Community Secondary School, Umokbo, but reside in Enugu. Commissioner Okonkwo explained that the move was to encourage Ndi Anambra to engage in environment-friendly activities, saying that the ministry appreciates the trend where people come up to do things on their own without being coerced. Architect Okonkwo commended the President General of Enugu, who was first to take the bull by the horn to organize grassroots environment sanitation after the ministry's meeting with ASATU, which he said must have gingered the boys.
Actually, I'm very, very excited today. Young people who on their own had organized themselves to clean up the environment. And here they are. I want to truly thank the MD of ABS, Uche Nwora, who actually discovered them.
And I recall that on Saturday, I visited my neighbors and as I was driving, I noticed that all the bushes, all the shrubs in the village, have been cut. And I was really excited and impressed. I started asking around, I said, who did this, And they pointed me to some young kids, secondary school children, from my village. And I now called them and I spoke to them, and I was really impressed that they could take this on themselves.
What I'm going to do, we and my colleagues were so grateful to make us the fundamental lessons. We're grateful. Thank you.
The Director, Environmental Health and Pollution Control, Mrs. Edith Ike, and the Environmental Health Officer in the Ministry, Mrs. Theresa Nwafo, hinted that the boys have automatically qualified to take part in the quiz competition they are organizing ahead of the National Environment Day, warning that the Ministry is already embarking on door-to-door inspection and that they are poised to sanction defaulters according to the dictates of the state laws. The Commissioner empowered the boys with materials such as overalls, face masks, rain boots, and gloves to aid their community cleanup activities. In Oka, Ejike Abana, ABS News.
Moving over to internal security in the state, the Anambra State Commissioner of Police, Mustapha Dandaura, has ordered with immediate effect the arrest of any commercial vehicle driver, especially shuttle bus or keke, found operating with tinted glasses or curtains in the state. A statement signed by the Police Public Relations Officer, Anambra State Command, Haruna Mohammed, stated that such vehicles or keke will be impounded by the police. It stated that the command has commenced intensive stop and search operations to enforce this order. According to the statement, intelligence available to the command revealed that criminals are using commercial vehicles, especially shuttle buses and keke napep, with tinted glasses and thick curtains which shield their interiors in Oka, Onitsha, Ekwulobia, Oko, and other densely populated areas to rob unsuspecting passengers and dispose them of their valuables without being detected by law enforcement agencies. The command, in a statement, enjoined Anambra to avoid patronizing tinted buses or keke with curtains in order not to fall victims to one-chance syndicates. The Agwata local government area of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, has endorsed its national chairman, Chief Victor Oye, for a second term. The endorsement took place when APGA faithfuls and stakeholders in the council area received Chief Oye at the local government headquarters conference hall at Ekwulobia. And our correspondent, Valentine Mbaduha, reports.
The event attracted APGA stakeholders in Agwata, elected members of the state and national assemblies, government functionaries, some members of APGA National Working Committee, friends of the party, as well as the Imo State APGA Caretaker Committee members and the executive members from the 27 local government areas of Imo State. In his speech, the state vice chairman and the zonal chairman of APGA in Anambra South Senatorial District, Chief Titus Anibogu, who assured Chief Oye of their support, charged him to uphold his integrity as more work awaits him in the future.
He's guided the party to success in so many areas. There is peace in the party. So I think he deserves the second term.
Responding, the APGA National Chairman, Chief Oye, while expressing his satisfaction over the warm reception, expressed dissatisfaction over the current position of the party, noting that his target is to make the party the #1 political party in the country that will produce more governors, senators, national and state assembly members, not only in Anambra State, but in other states across the country.
People lack courage to do what is right. Governor, 7,558 kilometers to fulfill his desires in his life.
Earlier in their separate speeches, the Agwata Federal Constituency member-elect, Chief Chukwuma Umoji, and the Agwata Local Government Transition Committee Chairman, Honorable Eche Ezibe, who described Chief Oye as a true leader, noted that APGA as a party has grown stronger under his watch and expressed optimism that if given more time as the national chairman, it will serve as a solution to Nigeria's democratic and leadership challenges. On their part, the Agwata Council Area APGA Chairman, Honorable Obiora Ezechukwu, and the Imo APGA Caretaker Committee Chairman, Honorable John Iwala, described Oye as a visionary and honest leader, noting that anyone who loves APGA should join Oye and move the party forward. The event climaxed with the presentation of award of excellent performance to Chief Oye by the Agwata APGA family, as well as the motion to adopt Chief Oye for a second term, which was moved by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Community Liaison, Barrister Victor Ezenwanne, and supported by everyone. From Agwata Local Government Secretariat in Ekulobia, Valentine Mbadoga reporting for ABS News.
Still to come on the news, the federal government sets up a task force to clear APAPA gridlock within 2 weeks, to be headed by the Vice President Osibanjo. And on the foreign scene, 3 top Saudi scholars to be sentenced to death after Ramadan. We'll have more details on this once we return. Do stay with us.
Taxi, Anambra State, go better. If you pay your taxi, Anambra State, go better. For good road, hospital, electricity, and good schools, help government to help you pay your taxi.
Good road, good school, better hospital with medicine, light, water, all these things, we dey like them. Our people say soup wey sweet na money. Government they do in ono to make sure say all these things where we need for Anambra State say we get them, but we get our own part of what. Now, as good citizens of Anambra State, we they like better thing and we love Anambra State, we supposed to pay our tax. Tax no be money where we dey dash government though, no be money where we dey throw in. Tax now our own contribution to the betterment and development of Anambra State. So pay your tax today.
Anambra State go better. Make you dey pay your tax, Anambra State go better.
Nendewo.
Enweta mozigi. Okike bụ nsogbu gị.
Achọ ka ihe m aka. Ofe ahụ na-amasị anaghị m esi ọfụma.
Mụ na gị ga-emekọta ya ọnụ. Ka ngosi ka esi eme ya ka o si adị ya mma.
Ndewo.
Ọ ka na-agwọ ụla.
Mae, Katrella.
Fesiano far.
Hey, well, that's gonna be Jebe.
That's our group.
Now, the thing where they came in, buzzing in the glow. Nankana, borrow me data.
Ijiri borrow me data and candy glow. You could say that an equent to not to Sabiania. Cabu Sichereo, or Brugotin in way credit, cha, nane player, star 321 hash. Yeah, one name, your Yokata Simon data Nemo Bodo.
The grandmasters of data.
Across the bridge, there's no more sorrow.
With total submission to the will of God and with gratitude to God for a life well spent, the Agwolu family of Uruokofa village, Ifitani, Nimo, in Njikoka Council area announces the transition to glory of their beloved father, grandfather, brother, uncle, cousin, and in-law, the late Professor Christian Chukwunedu Agwolu, aged 77. Burial arrangements, Thursday, 23rd of May 2019. Service of songs at Agwolu family compound, Uruokofa village, Nimo. Friday, 24th of May 2019. Funeral service at St. Paul's Anglican Church, Nimo. Interment follows immediately after church service at Agwolu family compound. Condolence visit continues on Saturday, 25th of May 2019. Sunday, 26th of May, outing service at St. Paul's Anglican Church, Nimo. Papa, may your gentle soul rest in peace. Amen. Announcer, Dr. Jeremiah Agwolu for the family.
The sun will shine across the river.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. And now we'll move over to the national scene, where the presidency has set up a task force headed by the Vice President, Yemi Osibanjo, to clear up the gridlock in APAPA and its environment within the next 2 weeks. The task force was set up as a result of a presidential directive which ordered the removal of trucks on bridges and roads in APAPA, as well as the restoration of law and order in that part of Lagos. The directive was shared on the verified Twitter handle of the government of Nigeria at Asorok. The directive also asked operators of trucks and tankers to vacate the port access road within the next 72 hours. The Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Dr. Dakuku Peterside, has said that piracy and other maritime crimes have reduced drastically in the nation's maritime domain, making it safer for investments. Peterside, who disclosed this in a statement signed by the head, Corporate Communications, NIMASA, Mr. Isiche Osambi, over the agency's budget before the Senate Committee on Maritime Transport, noted that efforts being put in place by the federal government to tackle maritime crimes were now yielding results. He added that NIMASA would continue to step up efforts to ensure that Nigerians benefit from the enormous potentials in the sector. The Director General also said that the recent rating by the International Maritime Bureau, IMB, has shown that the Nigerian waters are now safer and had further boosted investors' confidence in the Nigerian maritime sector, locally and globally. And now we'll go outside the shores of Nigeria, where 3 leading Saudi Arabian scholars being held by Riyadh on multiple charges of terrorism will be sentenced to death, according to a report. Citing 2 government sources and one of the men's relative Middle East eye, the 3 individuals, Sheikh Salman al-Auda, Awad al-Qani, and Ali al-Omari, will be convicted and executed after the Muslim holiday month of Ramadan concludes next month. There was no comment from Saudi authorities on the reports. Al-Auda is an internationally renowned progressive Islamic scholar described by UN experts as a reformist. Al-Qani is a preacher, academic, and author, and Al-Omari is a popular broadcaster. Another Saudi government source said the execution last month of 37 of the country's nationals was used as a trial balloon to gauge the strength of international condemnation, the outlet reported. Ali al-Ahmad, a longtime Saudi opposition figure and head of the US-based Institute for Gulf Affairs, called the reported move to execute the 3 prominent men as a crime to terrorize the Saudi citizens into submission. And from our sports desk this evening, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Dr. John Dadi Mahmood as the new Director and Chief Executive of the National Institute for Sports. A letter from the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation states that the appointment of the former NIS Deputy Director is for an initial term of 4 years. The 53-year-old Dadi Mahmood hails from Kogi State and attended Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. He has a doctorate degree in exercise and sports science and a master's degree in exercise physiology. A statement by Nneka Ikem Anibeze, Special Assistant on Media to the Minister for Sports, Solomon Dalong, said Dadi Mahmood has served in various capacities in the Institute. Now, don't forget that you can follow our news and programs on ABS from any part of the world simply by liking our Facebook page, which is ABS Radio Television. You can also subscribe to our YouTube handle at ABS. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at absyoutube.com/ABS Radio TV Online, and then follow us on our Twitter handle at ABS Radio TV, and then follow us on our Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website, which is www.absradiotv.com. And before we end the news, we'll go through the highlights for this evening. After years of tussle, Ihiala community has got a new monarch. 12 Enugu youths have been appointed environmental youth ambassadors by the Anambra state government. The federal government has set up a task force to clear APAPA gridlock within 2 weeks, to be headed by Vice President Osibanjo. And on the foreign scene, 3 top Saudi scholars are to be sentenced to death after Ramadan. And with that, we'll wrap up the news this evening. Thanks for staying with us. I am Ifunaya Amafili. Good night.